I'm Ejae, singer-songwriter and also singing voice of Rumi in K-pop Demon Hunters. When I was 5 or 3, my mom overheard me singing like a bunch of K-pop songs, and my uncle was like, I think she should be a singer when she grows up. And that's like kind of where it started, of like my dream to become a singer. So I auditioned a bunch and like went to karaoke every day, and then I got really lucky and I got into SM. SM Entertainment is one of the biggest labels in Korea. You know, they train artists essentially, cast a couple kids who have talent, and they train them to become a K-pop idol, a singer. And so you go through really rigorous training. I was a trainee, so 2003 is when I got in. I was like around 11, all the way to after college. So I came out 2015. SM and I think we had different visions, and you know, I got dropped and I was incredibly depressed. I mean, I was incredibly devastated. I felt like I let down 11-year-old me because I worked really, really hard. Really, it was not even kidding, blood, sweat, and tears of how much training I did. Hours of singing, hours of dancing, trying to improve. So yeah, I just felt like all that hard work went to nothing. I was just kind of drenched in this whirlwind of like doubt, self-doubt, imposter syndrome. What do I do with my life? And at that time, like I fell in love with like the underground music scene of the SoundCloud scene. I taught myself how to like produce on Ableton and make beats. And that's kind of how I like started like emoting myself through like songwriting and beats. I kind of was determined to like get better at producing. And so every day, not even kidding, I would walk from home all the way to Hongdae, which is a place in Korea. And I go to the cafe from like, I'm not even kidding, like maybe 3 p.m. all the way to like 12 a.m. just like producing every single day, including weekends.
Why does it feel right every time I let you in?
I met Andrew Choi. He brought me into his team essentially, and he started mentoring me, and we started doing K-pop together. And he would bring me into SM song camps, which is so full circle. In my first SM camp, my first session, back in 2017, I still remember, I wrote a song called Psycho by Red Velvet. 2 years later, that song got like, it got cut too by Red Velvet. I moved to New York at that time to start doing more pop, but COVID happened, and then that song blew up in Korea. I started, you know, naturally writing more K-pop because of that song. I just kind of like kept writing ever since, and you know, taught myself how to vocal produce because everything was all remote. I had to teach myself how to record myself and mix myself and all that stuff, because that's around the time I got on the project of K-pop Demon Hunters.
K-pop Demon Hunters, and that is taking over social media and breaking box office and Netflix records.
Making history, topping the Billboard Hot 100, the first time a female group has done that since Destiny's Child in 2001.
I'm like just, you know, I'm just so happy, like, oh, it makes me really sad. I worked really hard as a kid. So like, you know, I told you when I was 23, I felt so, the biggest part that I was sad about is not just being dropped, it was because I let her down, and she worked so hard. You know, the first thing I said when #1 hit was like, in Korean, like, 너무 잘했어, like, 수고했어, meaning like, you did so well, you worked so hard, good job, you know, good job. It's kind of what I wish a lot of people can say to people, because you don't see the good part. They was like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Sometimes you just have to like be like, you know, you're doing amazing. You're doing great. Good job. You know, you worked hard.